Hello everyone and welcome to my February book haul. So I want to start off, there are 3 books I'm still trying to collect from the R.L. Stine and Fear Street Saga books. I haven't checked these for a bit, so let's do that while I am here. So I'm looking for One Last Kiss, not Kid, Kiss, by R.L. Stine, not T.L. Stine, come on, R.L., okay. On Amazon, One Last Kiss by R.L. Stine is $194.95. Yeah, that's going to be a no. Okay, let's look on Thrift Books. I imagine there's not going to be too much of a difference there, but I've been surprised before. So One Last Kiss by R.L. Stine. $189.89, so just a little cheaper, still way more than I want to spend. So yeah, let me pull up eBay, because I have found sometimes if it's over $100 on Amazon and Thrift Books, sometimes I can get it for like 20 bucks on eBay. So I don't know, let's pull up eBay. Alright, eBay. One Last Kiss, not Kids, Kiss, there we go, by R.L. Stine. $199.56, $89.99, $188.40, $88, $148.75. So it looks like that $88, $89 is the cheapest. Nope, I'm not doing that yet. Okay, let's look on eBay, because as I said, there's 3 more in the Fear Street Sagas. The next one is Door of Death. Oh, wait, R.L. I had T.L. Stine. R.L. Stine. There we go. $84, $109.19, $75. And of course, this does not include any shipping, and that's varies, $106.25. Yeah, no. And that's all eBay. Okay, let's look on Thrift Books. I imagine it's going to be, if it is there, over 100 bucks. Door of Death. On Thrift Books, it is $84, marked as a collectible. Nope, not paying that much for that. And then let's go to Amazon. Door of Death by R.L. Stine. $87.99. No, not paying that much for that one book. Okay, and the last one in the Fear Street Saga that I'm trying to get is The Hand of Power by R.L. Stine. All right. $1,002.75 on Amazon. That is a heck to the no. All right, let's see what's the damage on Thrift Books. The Hand of Power. Well, this is more reasonable, but it's still too much. $140 on Thrift Books. All right, and let's look at eBay and see what the damage is there. The Hand Power. Not Power. Power. $148.50, $135, $132.59, $136, $140, $150, $120. So it's over 100 bucks everywhere. And but don't do Amazon because it's over $1,000 there. Probably in like perfect condition. Never been opened is what I would think for that price. But even then, I'll just keep an eye out. I'll just keep looking every now and then, seeing if I can find it. So let's go ahead and get into my books that I got for February. Now, I will say this. I think there will be a second book haul for February because I still have some of these books that you'll see in this are book box ones. There are others that are series continuations and some pre-orders, a book club, 2 book club books, and then others that I saw on Instagram that I was like, yeah, completely intrigued by. And then I have on order 6 more books that is subject to obviously increase. And I do know that some of these books I purchased because as a kind of self-soothing thing, because unfortunately my dad passed away on the 6th of February. He lived in Indiana, and I'm in Utah, and my parents divorced when I was 9, and I just did not have, you know, basically it was a non-existent relationship, especially once I left elementary school. So once I was done with 6th grade, it kind of, any father-daughter relationship fizzled out. So, I mean, I'm mourning for the man that I knew and looked up to as a child before the divorce. And then I'm mourning and I've already cried and given myself a headache. I'm not going to cry today. I'm mourning what could have been, you know, wanting that father-daughter relationship. I have a great relationship with my mom, but still wanting some kind of relationship with my dad, I no longer get that chance. He had several strokes. I know he had diabetes. I don't know if he lost a lot of weight because of the strokes and being in rehab. So I don't know if his diabetes went under control or if it was all weight induced, if he no longer had the diabetes because he lost so much weight. So that I don't know. But I know he had a bunch of strokes and ended up having dementia. And so he was bedbound for several months towards the end, is my understanding from what I'm hearing from aunts and uncles and stuff. So he was not in great health. And we are all, even though I didn't have a relationship with him, I still love him. And I wouldn't have wanted him to suffer. So I'm glad he's not in pain and suffering and in discomfort anymore. I'm glad that he is not in pain anymore and suffering. I still miss him. I've always missed him. But so I bought more books because just grief shopping. Does anyone else shop when they're kind of like their shopping increases when you are in any sort of a grief mode? Depression, whatever, and you know, just to kind of help lift things a little bit. Please let me know I'm not the only one that does that. So yeah, okay, let's go ahead and get into this first stack here. These are all from book boxes. 2 of the boxes I unboxed. One of them or I did a video for. 2 of them I did not. One of them the quality was just real bad, and the other one I didn't even bother. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. And by the time you're seeing this video, I'm filming this on the 9th of February. So my dad passed away 3 days ago. By the time you're seeing this video, I will be in Indiana. My mom is house sitting and all of that. But I will be in Indiana. Anyway, his funeral is the 15th of February. So whenever this video comes up, it'll be around that time, either slightly before or after. I'm not sure yet, but I'll be in Indiana around that time. I've never been to Indiana before, so I hope to get a little bit of sightseeing in, but I only get 3 days of bereavement from work, which kind of sucks. which sucks. I think personally it should be more because this is my dad, and you know, so it's your biological parent, but, and I think 3 days bereavement is the most that my company does, even if it's your partner or your spouse. So yeah, the length of time isn't that great. So anyway, all right. So this first book is The Bladestay by Jackie Johnson. And this one was from Once Upon a Book Club. So the edges are, it's Western. So there you have a wagon wheel, you have the sheriff's badge, cowboy hat, gun, and cowboy boots. I don't know if you'll be able to, there you go. So there it is a little bit, and it's the same pattern all the way around. The back of the dust jacket says, I think there are 2 different kinds of men. The kind that break things and the kind that fix things. I think the most special kind of person is the man who doesn't want to break things, but I think the most noble is the one who wants to break things but chooses to fix them instead. And this one I got because it was a special edition book, but I'm not going to be getting these, I think, anymore. There's the end pages. It's the same on the back. Just because it's like the stuff that I'm passing on to other people, and this was the YA, is just more so and not really my style and taste with the young adult, which is understandable. I'm 40 now. I used to enjoy the young adult boxes more than the adult, but now I don't. So even if the book is a special edition, I will not be getting the young adult special edition boxes anymore. So it says, when a violent decades-long feud between 2 powerful men comes to a head in the small settlement of Bladestay, Colorado, cunning resident Theo Creed must use her wits to stay alive. Disguising herself as a young boy, 17-year-old Theo bluffs her way into the inner circle of August Gaines, the magnetic leader of the ruthless gang that has descended on her town. But the deeper Theo gets into the con, the more she starts to question her loyalties. Complicating her subterfuge is a mysterious outlaw whose small moments of kindness contradict the blood he has on his hands, making Theo wonder who exactly is conning who. To save her town, Theo must parse facade from reality and choose between the barefaced malevolence she's infiltrated and the evil she didn't know lurked at home. So this one, I mean, I'm going to read it because I got it, but I'm leery of this. It's just not really pulling me in. Maybe it's part of how the book looks. I don't know. Or is it just fully the synopsis? I don't know. But I'm not all that intrigued by the synopsis of this. Now this next one is also from Once Upon a Book Club, and this one I did an unboxing for, so you should have already seen that if you wanted to see that video. This one is The Diamond of London by Andrea Penrose. So this is the cover, beautiful dress. And honestly, when I looked up the original cover, I like the original cover better than this cover, but it's still a nice cover. Purple sprayed edges, stenciled edges with diamonds. So it's just diamonds all the way around it. The back says, I was the commander of my soul. I had learned that I was strong enough to weather the storms of life. And then the end pages, same on the front as in the back. And then it's the same quote that I just read. And then there's the cover. So, I mean, it is a beautiful edition. I just kind of like the artwork on the original cover better. So, this one says, even with her privileged life, Lady Hester Stanhope knows that claiming the adventurous life she surely wants will not be easy, thanks to her eccentric father's stifling grip. With the help of her renowned statesman, Uncle William Pitt the Younger, she takes on the glittering, treacherous heights of London society. Her formidable intelligence, outspoken opinions, and headstrong determination gain the favor of the Beau Mond's leading tastemaker, Beau Brummel, and she quickly learns to bend the rules of the ton to her own advantage. And as her uncle's hostess, she astutely uses her skills to preside over and give advice to the most influential figures of her day, rising to a position unequaled in society. But when it comes to holy matrimony, Hester will settle for no less than a passionate match of equals, a search marked by challenges and heartbreak. Her affair with a charismatic naval officer tempts her with forbidden pleasures, even as it threatens her reputation. Her love for a sophisticated, brilliant diplomat offers the marriage of her dreams, and unsuspected betrayal. And as England is plunged into war, Hester's world changes forever, causing her to find courage and strength amid loss, chart a complexly unexpected future, and make a glorious legacy forever hers. So this one is definitely much more intriguing than the other one, in my opinion. This next one is also a Once Upon a Book Club, and it's the last Once Upon a Book Club. This one was one of their, not part of a subscription, but one of their special edition boxes, and this was their special Valentine's edition. The quality of the video was really crap, so I just scrapped it. So, Raiders of the Lost Heart by Joe Segura. Archaeologist Dr. Socorro Corey Mejia has a bone to pick, literally. It's been Corey's life goal to lead an expedition deep into the Mexican jungle in search of the long-lost remains of her ancestor Chimali, an ancient warrior of the Aztec Empire. When she's invited to join an all-expenses-paid dig to do just that, Corey is sure it's too good to be true, and she's right. As a world-renowned expert on Chimali, Corey should, by rights, be leading this quest, not sharing the glory with her disgustingly handsome nemesis. But Dr. Ford Matthews has been finding new ways to best her since they were in grad school. Ford certainly isn't thrilled either. With his life in shambles, the last thing he needs is a reminder of their rocky past. So, enemies to lover, second chance is what this is sounding like. But as the dig begins, it becomes clear they'll need to work together. A thief is lurking around their campsite, forcing the pair to keep their discoveries and lingering attraction under wraps. With money-hungry artifact smugglers, the Mexican authorities, and lies between them closing in, there's only one way this all ends: explosively. Okay, and these next books, there's 6 here. They're all from the Reveal book box, and that will have been up before this video. And one of the books in this is, most of these ones, there's a standalone, and I think it's next to last one, but one of the books in this is like the 5th, 7th, I don't know, it's later on in the series. So that's one of the ones that I have on order that are coming, is the first book. But this one is book number 1 in a Landon Akers novel by Natalie Jess, and the title is For Avery. Avery was never supposed to be his. Jackson Landon has spent his years hiding his feelings for his best friend's younger sister. His reputation for not being able to commit has never stopped the locals from getting in line, but no matter what he tries, he can't seem to give his heart to anyone else. Avery Burnett has always known who her heart belongs to. It just happens to be the wrong person. Jackson Landon has never, not once, been able to love someone back, a fact that her brother reminds her of regularly. With a plan to win a date with Jackson at an auction, she's ready to show him she's not playing around. Once they get their hands on each other, the time for holding back is over. But the fallout could be more than they can handle. And these 6 books I'm showing you are all romance, and they will range from mild to very spicy. Occasionally in the boxes you might get one without spice, but they're all usually independently published. On occasion there might be some self-published, but usually independent, but again the spice range varies. Next I have book number 1 in Rescue and Redemption is the series. This one is Friendly Fire by Morgan James. I'm in love with my best friend, and she can never know. I knew I wanted Claire the moment we met. She wasn't ready for a relationship then, so I waited patiently, biding my time. For those 2 years we've been best friends, we do everything together, except the one thing I really want from her. Unfortunately, someone else has Claire in their sights too. The incidents start small, a misplaced memento here, a hang-up call there. But when a threat from her past reappears, I'll do everything in my power to protect her. Because Claire is my best friend, the love of my life, my everything. Next, I have book 1 in Magnolia Creek, and this is The Pieces Left Behind by Ryan Marie. This is one that I've got to kind of twist to see, because it's the like brown on brown. Personally, I think the selection could have been better for the color on the back to try to read the synopsis, but alright, I guess that's me. No love is greater than your first love the second time around. Camille Stevens' life was perfect. Perfect husband, perfect home, perfect career. She and her husband were the envy of all their friends. Camille's life was perfect until it wasn't. When her husband is lost to an invisible demon, she decides to return to Texas with plans for a fresh start and resigned to a life alone. What she doesn't plan for is crossing paths with the first man she ever loved and lost, the first man to leave her in pieces, Vaughn McCallan. The sweet boy who said he'd always love her, then left her, is now a sexy man, complete with cowboy hat and chiseled muscles. Now that she's in his sights, Vaughn will stop at nothing to have her again. When he confesses the truth about what really happened all those years ago, old flames are stoked, and their fiery love is rekindled. With her future looking like the one she always imagined they would have, Camille can finally breathe again, or can she? Can she let her mended yet fragile heart believe in love again? Can she risk getting close to the fire? Will she get a second chance at first love, or will she lose him forever? I just wish the color choices on the back were better. Okay, next up, this one I believe is a standalone, and this one is How to Ruin a Wedding by Sophie Andrews. I'm pretty sure this one's a standalone. There are 3 things to know about Tilly Mahoney. 1, she's a liar. 2, she thinks she's in love with her best friend. 3, she's got a plan to ruin his wedding. Tilly and her best friend have been through it all. For decades, he has been her support system, and she's been his right-hand gal, and now he's engaged to someone else. Not on her watch. Hey, want to help me break up a wedding? Is a dubious start to an unlikely friendship. But the bride's ex-boyfriend, Zach, is the perfect partner in crime for Tilly's misguided plan to spoil the nuptials. The bearded and brooding man is clearly desperate to win back the love of his life, and she's all too willing to help if it'll break up the happy couple. But the more she tries to interfere with the wedding and the closer she gets to Zach, the more confusing Tilly's feelings become. About a decades-long friendship, about what she thought was love, and most terrifyingly, about the way Zach saves all of his smiles for her. And this is the one that's later on in the series, and so I do have the first one on order. Does this one say... Just as there's 5 books. You can read them as standalones and in any order. I don't remember. I think this one's book 2 in this series, if I were to read them in order. But this one is Kissing the Rival by Kaylee Ryan. And I think these ones are all by different authors as well, if I remember right. Let's see. The Kissing Games is the name of the series. So underneath Charlotte, it says, I'm not just kissing the rival, I'm falling for him. Spencer Pennington has always been a shameless flirt. But when it comes to being the best in our MBA program, all bets were off, and the competition was on. Fast forward a few years, and all it takes is a bar at a failed wedding and my silly kiss rating system to lock lips with the enemy. Cocky as ever, Spencer claims he's a 10 and kisses me to prove it. I kiss him back to scratch an old itch, not expecting to like it. Which is a huge problem, because Mr. Tall, dark, and tattooed from grad school is my new boss, and I want to kiss him again and again, even if I only gave him a 4. And then underneath Spencer, it says, Charlotte Krause could be the perfect girl if she didn't hate me so much. I'm unsure if it was just me or guys in general, but she had this stuck-up, all-work, no-play vibe about her in college. Imagine my surprise when I find her at the resort bar rating kisses like it's her job. This carefree woman is nothing like the focused girl who turned me down at freshman orientation, and every time after that. When I promise her I'm a 10, I see the competitive spark light in her ocean blue eyes. There she is. She might have kissed me to prove me wrong, but I know I'm right about one thing. She feels the spark too. There's just one problem. It turns out her actual job is working for me. All right, and this last book subscription book in this video is Forever and Always by Karen Cimms, I'm guessing is how the last name is said. It's C-I-M-M-S. This one's a bit chunkier. So there's the cover. And this is book 1 in the Gravel Hill Boys series. He was my first love, my first heartbreak, and the last man I expected to see sitting in a booth at my aunt's diner. Beau Edward Taylor, looking hotter than ever and staring at me as if he'd seen a ghost. I tried to forget him, but hearing him on the radio and seeing him on the cover of every magazine in the checkout aisle made it damn near impossible. He swore he'd never return, yet here he is, stirring up old memories of days stealing kisses behind the barn and nights chasing falling stars. And the most painful memory of all, our last night together in the bed of his pickup, when I thought we'd bound ourselves together forever. That was then. Now it seems the boy who owned my past is the man who wants my future. Wherever I go, he's there, in the kitchen, hanging with my daddy, in the barn, singing to the goats and doing the milking. I even stumbled upon country music's sexiest man alive mucking out sheep stalls. It's getting hard to resist him. He touches me and I can barely breathe. He kisses me and sets my soul on fire. My foolish heart is all in, but I stopped believing in fairy tales 6 years ago. Unless I find myself a fairy godmother, I'm betting there won't be a happily ever after for this Cinderella goat farmer and a country music superstar. So, this box, like these 6 books, or at least 5 out of the 6, give me country vibes. Okay, now these next 3 books, these ones, one I saw and just liked the cover and wanted to look at. One was a pre-order, and one is the series continuation. So, let's start with the series continuation. Now, for the series continuation, I have not read the first book in the series. I will still read the synopsis of this in case you have read it and are interested in what the second one is, because honestly, once I read the synopsis, I kind of just evaporates out of my mind, and I no longer remember what it's about. I might remember 1 or 2 things, but not enough to spoil anything. So I will read the synopsis. So this is Long Way Down by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is book number 2 in the Calloway Sisters series, right? Yeah, so I believe it's book 2 in that, but it is book number... It's part of the Addicted series world, and so if you look at just the Addicted series, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, book number 9. So, and if I look at the Addicted series, I've read Addicted to You and Ricochet. Did I read that one? Or Addicted for Now? One of the 2. Anyway, with a 7-year age difference, Reich Meadows and Daisy Calloway have faced an uphill battle in the eyes of the world and their families. They are known as the most adventurous, fast-paced couple, and their next steps have always been elusive to the rabid media. Behind the scenes, heartbreaking troubles continue to test Reich and Daisy's resilience and shape their future together. They promise to never slow down, to never compromise who they are, and to never abandon their love for each other. But persevering their happiness also means taking more risks. As a professional free solo climber, Reich is no stranger to danger, but his next step with Daisy wagers more than just his health. With their lives on the line, Reich and Daisy head towards the vast, wild unknown. So, Long Way Down. And the ones that I've looked at have all had playlists. So I want to see if this one has a music playlist as well. Okay, so there's a letter to the reader from the authors. A note from Reich, the first page, it just says F off. And I don't think there's a playlist in this one, which is fine. Let's see. No, there is no playlist in this, which is, again, is fine. So, yeah, Long Way Down. This next one is a pre-order. I saw the cover and fell in love, and I know I read the synopsis, but do you think I can remember? No, because I said everything just evaporates from my mind once I read that synopsis. So yes, I'm going to read the synopsis again, but obviously I liked what was said in the synopsis in order to pre-order it. And this one is Everyone Who Can Forgive Me Is Dead by Jenny Hollander. She has everything to live for and everything to hide. 9 years ago, with the world's eyes on her, Charlie Colbert fled. The press and the police called her a witness to the terrible events that took place at her elite graduate school. But Charlie knew there was more to her story, if only she could make sense of how it all unfolded. Now Charlie has meticulously rebuilt her life. She's the editor-in-chief of a major magazine, the fiancée of the heir to the publishing dynasty, and hell-bent on never letting her guard down again. But when a film adaptation of what has become known as Scarlet Christmas, the bloody scene that transpired on that fateful Christmas Eve, threatens to shatter Charlie's world, her haunting memories surge back with unprecedented clarity. No truth has ever been more dangerous than the one that hides in her own mind. With everything at stake, Charlie must decide how far she will go to prevent her past from colliding with her seemingly perfect present. That does not sound familiar, but of course it's not going to. No, so. And then something about this book evidently intrigued me, probably just the cover, who knows, but this one is Blush by Helen Hardt. What he wants from you will make you blush. Amanda Thomas is hopelessly in love with Jackson Paris, but he will never see her as anything more than his sweet and innocent bestie. After being virgin adjacent for too long, Mandy is officially ready to move on. She wants to learn about hot, dirty sex, so she joins an online dating app where the enigmatic Mr. Dark promises to fulfill all of her wicked fantasies. Jackson Paris has been keeping secrets from his stunning, too innocent best friend, like forbidden sexual proclivities and his membership at the exclusive Black Rose Underground Club. But Mandy has decided she needs an education, the filthy kind. As Mr. Dark, Jackson can safely give her a taste of what she wants and deter her from perusing more without revealing his identity. But in the dim, provocative atmosphere of Black Rose Underground, there are no secrets. Here, every wicked appetite is satisfied, and for the first time, Mandy will discover who her best friend really is, just in time to shock him with a secret of her own. Huh. I kind of figured it was a romance because of the petals, but this sounds erotic, so there's that. Okay, these next two books are for book clubs. So this one is I'm supposed to be reading this month in February, so hopefully I'll get to this one. And that is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This will be my first Ali Hazelwood. So, a vampire bride and an alpha werewolf form a dangerous alliance in this enthralling new paranormal romance. Misery Lark, daughter of a powerful vampire councilman, is an outcast. Her days of living anonymously among the humans are over. She has been called upon to uphold an alliance between the vampires and the mortal enemies, the Wares. Wares are ruthless and unpredictable, and their alpha, Lo Morland, is no exception. He rules his pack with absolute authority, but not without justice or feeling. It's clear from the way he tracks Misery's every movement that he doesn't trust her. If only he knew how right he was. Misery has her own reasons to agree to this marriage of convenience, reasons that have nothing to do with politics or alliances, and everything to do with the only thing she's ever cared about, and she is willing to do whatever it takes to get what's hers. So, that actually sounds pretty good. Alright, the next book club book I have is The House of Last Resort by Christopher Golden. Across Italy, there are many half-empty towns, nearly abandoned by those who migrated to the coast or to cities. The beautiful crumbling hilltop town of Becchina is among them, but its mayor has taken drastic measures to rebuild, selling abandoned homes to anyone in the world for €1, as long as the buyer promises to live there for at least 5 years. It's a no-brainer for an American couple, Tommy and Kate Puglisi. Both work remotely, and Becca is the home of Tommy's grandparents, his closest living relatives. It feels like a romantic adventure, an opportunity the young couple would be crazy not to seize. But from the moment they move in, they both feel a shadow has fallen on them. Tommy's grandmother is furious, even a little frightened, when she realizes which house they've bought. There are rooms in an annex at the back of the house that they didn't know were there. The place makes strange noises at night. Locked doors are suddenly open, and when they go to a family gathering, certain people are whispering about them and about their house, which one neighbor refers to as the house of last resort. Soon, they learn that the home was owned for generations by the church, but the real secret and the true dread is unlocked when they finally learn what the priests were doing in this house for all those long years, and how many people died in the strange chapel inside, while down in the catacombs beneath Becca, something stirs. This sounds good. Okay, this next little grouping, there are 5 books here. These ones are all series continuations. This one is The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England, written by Brandon Sanderson. This is book number 2 in the Secret Project series. And it says, a man awakens in a clearing in what appears to be medieval England, with no memory of who he is, where he came from, or why he is there. Chased by a group from his own time, his sole hope for survival lies in regaining his missing memories, making allies among the locals, and perhaps even trusting in their superstitious boasts. His only help from the real world would have been a guidebook entitled The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England, except his copy exploded during transit. The few fragments he managed to save provide clues to his situation, but can he figure them out in time to survive? So Tress of the Emerald Sea was before this one, and this one sounds more up my alley than Tress was, so I'm thinking I'll enjoy this one more than Tress. So, okay, this next one is book number 2 in the Katie the Catsitter series, which is a middle grade graphic novel. This one is Katie the Catsitter, Best Friends for Never. This was written by Colleen A.F. Venable, and the art is by Stephanie Yu. So this one's book number 2 in the series. Katie loves skating with the wheelass, and officially being a superhero sidekick. But now that school's starting, everything's changing. The mousetress is getting blamed for things Katie knows she didn't do. Sidekick training is not as exciting as she'd hoped. Katie's best friend, Beth, is back in town, and Beth's new boyfriend is always hanging around. Ugh. Not to mention that all of Katie's friends are mad at her. Fixing this will be harder than any skateboard trick, but with the help of 217 slightly out of the ordinary cats, Katie's going to try. Can she clear the mousetress's name, uncover the real supervillain, and become the sidekick and the friend she'd always dreamed of being? And this next one is also another Katie the Catsitter book, and this is book number 3. The 4th one is supposed to be out later in 2024. I do have that one pre-ordered. So, what is my hair doing? Oh well. So this one is Katie the Catsitter, Secrets and Sidekicks. So again, middle grade graphic novel. Okay. What's better than BFFs? Super Sidekick BFFs. Katie can't wait to have Beth join her for sidekick training until it turns out Beth might be a way better sidekick than Katie. And now Beth and Marie are hanging out all the time. Jess is acting super weird, and Katie still needs to tell her mom about being a sidekick. Oh yeah, and giant robots are attacking the city, so that's not great. Can Katie and 217 super unusual cats work together to save the city and 7th grade? Or is Katie about to be in super trouble? Who knows? Okay, these last 2 books in the series continuation stack are both Babysitter's Club. One is number 5 and one is number 6. So the Babysitter's Club was, I remember, being really popular in the 90s, and it is written by Anne M. Martin. Now, these ones that I'm going to show you are graphic novel adaptations. The first 4 in the series, the artist was Raina Telgemeier. The artist has now changed. I did look at the series, and the artist changes about what, 3 or 4 more times. So for these two, the artist is the same, and the artist for these next two in the series at least is Gail Galligan. So this one is Dawn and the Impossible 3. Dawn Schaefer is the newest member of the Babysitters Club. Even though she's still adjusting to life in Stony Brook after moving from sunny California, she's eager to accept her first big job. But taking care of the 3 Barrett kids would be too much for any babysitter. The house is always a mess, the kids are out of control, and Mrs. Barrett never does any of the things she promises. On top of that, Dawn wants to fit in with the other members of the BSC, but she can't figure out how to get along with Christy. Was joining the Babysitters Club a mistake? So, again, this is a different artist, so we'll see if I'm just used to the art from Marina Telgemeier, and this is just going to have to take some adjusting, or if I prefer the art from Marina Telgemeier over Gail's, but we'll see. And then the next one for the Babysitters Club graphic novel adaptation is Christy's Big Day. So it looks like it involves a wedding, I'm guessing. Christy's mom is getting married, and Christy is going to be a bridesmaid. The only problem? 14 kids are coming to town for the wedding. Christy, Claudia, Mary Ann, Stacy, Dawn, and Mallory think they can handle it. But that's before they spend a week changing diapers, stopping arguments, solving mix-ups, and planning activities. It's the biggest job the BSC has ever had, but they'll work together to make sure Christy's big day is a success. So, there we go. All right, this next grouping here are ones that I originally saw on like an ad for on Instagram. I've got to be careful scrolling on Instagram. These are all dark covers, and I think they're all dark romance. Yeah, I'm excited to get to these. And some of these have very pretty covers. So yeah, now these first 3 in this grouping are all from the same author, and it's part of a series. So this first one is called Exquisite Prey by T. Ray. I just love this cover. And it says this is Dark Blood Clan Book 1. There's no escape when you become his prey. 20-year-old Yvain lives a charmed life in New York with her best friend Jacob and boyfriend Gage. On the precipice of graduating from college, she's ready to start her exciting new career in a world full of opportunities and can't wait to live her dreams. A single rose changed everything. All right, this is sounding like a Beauty and the Beast thing. Let's see. In a blink of an eye, Yvain's dreams turn into nightmares, and she's tangled in a web of terror and destruction as a ruthless predator bent on having her. No matter the cost, rips her perfect world apart and forces her to face her worst fears. Is she strong enough to survive, or will she die trying? I don't know. So Exquisite Prey. Book number 2 is Darling Fiend. Again, by T. Ray, book number 2 in the series. I'll still read the synopsis because I forget things. Let's see. Death was only the beginning. When Yvain puts her trust in Julian, she never imagined in her wildest dreams where it would lead, and struggles to adjust to being a dark blood clan fledgling. Her new world isn't easy, especially with those in the clan that despise her working against her. Her transformation may have given her unique gifts and powerful skills, but will she learn to control them before being engulfed in the rampant deceit, brutality, and betrayal that are second nature among the vampires as they vie for prestige and the favor of their omnipotent luminary? Duplicitous encounters, savage rituals, and celebrations of cruelty have left Yvain questioning her choice to join the monsters. Despite these obstacles, she's determined to get retribution for everyone she's lost at the hands of a vicious predator. I don't even know if I'm saying her name right. Okay, and then the third book in the Dark Blood Clan by T. Ray is Precious Aberrant. I'm guessing. Yvain's first mistake was trusting a vampire, the second believing she could be one of them. Julian's deceit fractured the Dark Blood clan, destroying Yvain's hopes and leaving only one option: run. Escaping monsters isn't easy, even when you are one, and her uncommon talent has put a bullseye on her back, forcing her and Jacob to stay one step ahead. But how do you hide when your best friend is a homing beacon? Enemies become allies against the Ministerium Avum's omnipotent luminary, bent on hunting her for his nefarious plans of domination, and her ruthless sire with an appetite for destruction. Running is no longer an option when everyone she cares about is in danger. Yvain's only choice is to surrender. Unfortunately, not everyone agrees. When monsters converge, there is no easy way out. Not even Julian can save her from the creatures who have crawled from the darkest depths to claim her for their wicked devices. Next up, I have a horror romance, and this is Satiate by M.A. Cobb. The skulls and the blood on that. When a new virus awakens a gnawing hunger, they thought hiding away would be the answer. But as society breaks down, so do the lines between right and wrong. Clinging to the old rules will jeopardize their chances to survive when it becomes everyone for themselves. Caleb fights to fix his past mistakes. While Sarah struggles with her new future, Peter builds his kingdom, but Jessica wants to rule. Will they find a way to satiate their desires? Next, this is like a collection of stories. Yes. So, there's 4 books in this. This is called Pitch Black by L.P. Lavelle and Steve J. Cole. This is a banned book collection. So these are all banned books in this. Dark romance banned books. Pitch Black, a limited edition collection of 4 dark romance books, all of which were once deemed too scandalous for the mainstream and banned from sale. Be prepared to venture into a world where villains reign supreme and love becomes a twisted addiction, where danger is foreplay and characters are irredeemable. This collection is your invitation to embrace the taboo and indulge in the dark corners of your heart. So I am curious. Let's see. Warning, these books are extremely dark. They have all been banned at one point by Amazon and have offended a good many. But we guess that's why you're here. We've tried to list triggers at the start of each book in case any of them might be your hard limit. Enjoy. Oh, good. Okay, so we have Bad, a dark mafia romance. All right, I want to know what the books are. That doesn't list the books in the beginning. So Bad, a dark mafia romance. Dirty is all it says. And these are, so far, they're both by L.P. Lavelle and Steve J. Cole as well. So it looks like they wrote the books individually, and then those books were banned, and now they've combined them into one big book. So after Dirty is... Absolution is the 3rd book in here. And then we have The Game, which it says it's The Game Part 1. So The Game, like playing a football game or something, I don't know. But Pitch Black, all banned books. All right, moving on, I have Broken Beauty by Kaylee Allison, something like that. The charmer, the stalker, the tortured leader, the unhinged psychopath. Which one will break me? I'm the weird girl on campus with an overbearing father, a criminal family, and my attendance at an isolated university in the mountains. No one ever had the chance to love me or leave me until I catch the attention of 4 men. The enigmatic vultures, a ruthless mafia group searching for a hidden fortune on campus, where my comfortable life takes a treacherous turn. They are cold-blooded killers, but nobody would know their disguise is that good. The worst part is I'm just as obsessed with the treasure as they are. They figured out they need me, and I found myself torn between my own desires and the darkness that consumes them. But as much as I'm drawn to them, losing my morals will turn into my biggest mistake. Because the problem with vultures, they love picking at fresh meat. So, okay, we're on the last 4 books in this video. Okay, this next one is Slash or Pass by Taylor Page. When you get told to run, you get up and don't look back. We had one shot to get out of the sinister minister's grasp, and we took it. Hand in hand, Kansas and I fled in the middle of the night, with the promise that we'd never tell a soul about what happened at that house, and how Constantine died. Elsie has spent the last decade looking over her shoulder while trying to forget the horrors the minister and the family inflicted upon her and others. However, something continues to call to her. In the deepest roots of her psyche, she can't escape the nightmares of her time trapped in the cult. All of her fears come to a head when she finds a letter taped to her door, informing her that a documentary is being made about the minister and the events that took place 10 years ago. When she politely declines, she can't help but wonder why they didn't fight her more to talk. It isn't until she turns on the TV that she sees that they didn't need her to talk because they had someone else to captivate the audience. They found Constantine. He's alive. He remembers that we left him. Slash or Pass is a... Okay, so it says Slash or Pass is a MFM, so male, female, male, horror romance. If you like slasher horror, spicy romance, and a little schmink in your books, you're going to enjoy this novel. Alrighty. I have never seen the word schmink, but that's what it looked like, is schmink. Next I have Meet at Midnight by Lux Oleander. I did this as a D. Deliander. It's an O. Oleander. Okay. A slasher romance. I'm picking up slasher romance books. Okay. Yeah, so here's the book. As you can see, I've been picking up these dark covers. They're just drawing me in. 2 years ago, I made her my final girl. Perhaps I'm a little obsessed. The shrine covering my bedroom wall would certainly agree. I've even played out a few scenarios that end with her taking my knife in much more creative ways than usual. Today is the day I finally take her life. I'm ramping up the carnage and tying up loose ends in bloody bows. There's another serial killer in Umbra Valley, and the massacre maniac won't be outdone. However, our local femme fatale isn't waiting around for me to kill my obsession. Appears she hates me as much as I hate her. Meet me at midnight. That's what the letter said. Cute. Don't tango with the devil, sweetheart. You're about to learn that he doesn't play fair. Okay. Naughty List. It's Knotty for this one. This is a Monster Holidays series written by Taylor Fox. And then there's the couple there. So the woman and he's a blue monster. I've always wanted the small town Christmas dream. Unfortunately, this Christmas I might become a monster's dinner. My Christmas dream involved a small town, Christmas markets, and maybe a handsome man who would sweep me off my feet. But I was never very lucky. This small town thinks I'm wicked, and after a series of attacks, they decide I'm the perfect gift to calm Krampus down. Krampus, yes, that Krampus. So he is I found out, so this is the second book that I found that features the Krampus, who I guess is a monster specific for Christmas. So, Krampus. I laughed too. I even hoped this was all a prank. Spoiler warning, it wasn't. Dressed only in my nightshirt, I'm dragged into the woods, tied up, and left for the beast. And the beast comes. And the beast takes me away. This could have been the end for me, but nothing is as it seems. Krampus has other plans for me. Plans that involve claiming me as his. And the more I fight, the more he wants to punish me. I know I shouldn't enjoy this. I know wanting this monster is wrong, but I can't help the way he makes me feel. Maybe I'm as wicked as they say, and that might just send us straight to Santa's naughty list. Okay. This last book is Kisser, right? Yes, Kisser of Death by MHB. So Mary Hotel Bravo. So it's just the initials there. So Kisser of Death. And it has a snake on the cover behind a rose. And this is book number 1 in the Kisses of Sorrow series. 1 accident, 2 men, almost 3 years of despair. 4 beating hearts, growing in pain. 5 lives forever changed. Everything fell apart in the blink of an eye. These days, my own misery keeps me company. I never thought this would be me. My 24-year-old, my 24-year-old stuck in a dead-end relationship. Gone are the thrilling adventures with Harvey Stark. Gone is his smile. Gone is the sight of his dimples and the sparkle in his bright blue eyes. He's changed into a hollow version of himself, and I'm just a shadow following him around our home. Then I meet my new boss at a firm in downtown Chicago. Damon Dragon challenges me in ways I never knew existed and makes me believe in myself again. Our souls match instantly, and meeting Damon feels like a step toward peace, except it's not, because everyone grieves differently. While one man refuses to touch me, the other won't love me. And I'm crawling through the crippling chaos, barely holding on. So, Kisser of Death. So that is it. Those are the books in this haul. As I said, there will be more, because I do have one that's the first book in the series, and then I have like probably 2 pre-orders that are still scheduled to come in. So we'll see what else is going to come in, and I may just add to cart more with. We'll see how I feel during my dad's funeral, and after, if I feel like I gotta get another book or whatever. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But that's it for this particular video. Let me know, have you read any of these books? Have you read books from any of these authors? Do any of these books sound intriguing to you, something that you're interested in picking up? Or do they sound like a hard pass for you? Let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I'll talk to you later.